All right, you're live.
Welcome to today's broadcast of IHSAA Baseball. Hamilton County style and Hamilton County television from Dunker Field in Noblesville. Today's broadcast on Hamilton County Television is presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 26 years in business. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors: Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, the HCTV calendars.com, and One Zone. My name is Brad Silbert, along with Perry Williams. Perry, we've got 59 degrees. It is overcast, a very strong easterly wind at 18 miles an hour. But heavens, it's opening day for the Millers. We look forward to this all year.
Absolutely. And, you know, the one thing about it is, Brad, the Millers have already played 6 games, and this is their first home game. Of course, they opened up the season against Cathedral and won a big game at Cathedral, and then went to Tennessee for 4 ball games. And, you know, Brad, that's just basically a ball game 4 games down there for team building and those different type of things.
Yep.
So, you know, and Fishers does it. Coach Matt Cherry and Coach Kiefer have been doing it for a long time. They were both in the Murfreesboro, Tennessee area. And the one thing about it is, you know, those Tennessee teams, they played anywhere from 10 to 15 games before we go down there. So,
well, you know, they've already got experience going into the season. But the other thing is, Perry, is these teams, when they go down there, both Fishers and Noblesville, they play some excellent competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're ready to go here. The Orioles leading off with their center fielder, Cam Melvin. First pitch from Clay Holsworth is outside for ball 1. Melvin batting .667 here in the early season. This is only the 3rd game for the Orioles, and they've already got a base hit on the board.
Actually, Brad, Melvin got 2 hits last night. He got a double and a single.
Yeah, I was just going to mention these 2 teams played out at Avon last night. In the Millers managed to win that one. I believe I've seen 2 different versions. I've seen 11-3 and 11-4 as the final on that. So.
But the one thing about it, it was that big 6th inning for the Millers.
You got to get the ball first, then the runner.
It was a big 6th inning for the Millers. They scored. They batted around and scored, I believe, 5 runs. So
Holsworth working from the stretch early in this game, Perry. One ball, no strikes on Henry Hessian. That one hits the lower outside corner of the plate, evens up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs, 1 man on for the Orioles.
Yeah, and last night Hessen hit a triple. So
he comes in batting 143.
Of course, they've only played 2 ball games. So.
Yeah, it's very early.
Yeah.
That one's a little outside and low, makes it a 2 ball, 1 strike count on the second baseman, Henry Hessian.
I didn't like all your pictures.
2-1 pitch from possible double play there, right to the shortstop Miles, over to first.
Got them both.
Stretches, good stretch there by Matt Peak, and that ends up erasing the runners. Nice 6-4-3 double play there by the Millers.
Holsworth is a senior, Brad, the pitcher, and he's already pitched 9 innings this season. He pitched 33 innings last year. He's a Butler commit.
Mm-hmm. Kyron Bauer steps in, the first baseman.
He got a hit last night. He's batting in 2018. He batted .326, Brad.
Good ball player.
Yeah. So we got 2 outs here.
He's batting .571 here in the early season. Strike 1 is called against Power.
You know, that's the one thing about it, Brad, you know, in some of these stats that we're given this early in the season. It's
Yeah.
kind of a little bit
They're,
misleading.
they are definitely, most definitely somewhat deceiving. That one's high and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the first baseman, Kyron Power.
You know, the way that wind's blowing out there, Brad, I'm certainly glad we're up here in the press
Oh,
box.
yeah. And it's a good thing, it's also a good thing they got some windows in this press box.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
otherwise,
right.
this would be blowing right in on us.
Got it.
Strike 3 is called. So the Orioles go basically in order. They did have 1 hit in the inning, but that got erased on the double play. Nobody left on the bases. We are tied 0-0 going to the bottom of the first.
Celebrating over 27 years, Logan Street Signs and Banners specialize in that last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville, Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 or check them out, loganstreetsigns.com.
Well, we were talking a little earlier about that trip down south, Perry, and you had the opportunity to see and broadcast some of those games. And what was your impression from what you saw early in the season already?
Well, I mean, early in the season, and like I said, you and I talked before the ball game. Fans are going to have to be patient with this team this season. I mean, they have 3 players, Owens, Emmel, and Miles, who played in almost all the games last season. But you got a half a dozen players that this is their first time up on varsity, and we also have some guys that played maybe half the game. So, this is a different ball club and kind of an inexperienced ball club. So it takes a time. And like I said, down south, I know of a couple games they only got 3 hits in each of the games.
Yeah.
Last night they got 8. So, they're hitting the ball well, and they're back to Indiana, and
It's always good to get back home. It's nice to go on the trip, but it's good to get back home. But the other factor in this whole thing, Perry, that everybody has to take into consideration is there's 8 teams in the HCC this year with the addition of Franklin Central, and depending which rating you look at, preseason ratings, PBR has 4 HCC teams in the top 15. The coaches poll, the preseason poll, has 3 of the teams in the in the top 10. So, it's not only the team is going to be growing and learning, but they're going against some good teams in the HCC.
absolutely.
Cole Barnes steps in, takes the first pitch for ball 1 for the Millers. Barnes comes in batting .308. As we said, the Millers in their 7th game of the season. So the stats for the Millers are starting to, be a little bit truer after 7 games, into the 7th game.
Yeah, Cole Barnes had a nice game last night. He had 2 hits or so. He was 2 for 5. Had 1 strikeout, so.
1-1 on Barnes. There's a bouncer to the second baseman. Hessen picks it up over to Power at first, and Cole Barnes is retired for the first out of the bottom of the first.
The funny thing about it, Brad, here,
Like to apologize for some technical difficulties we're having. We're having problems with our field camera, but we do have catcher cam online, so bear with us. We're working to get that taken care of as quickly as possible. Jim and Will Wofford, Lucas Lacane, our technical camera operator today, and they're working to get that fixed up for you. In the meantime, 0-1 on Cooper Miles with the foul ball. Swing and a miss on the high fastball.
Cooper last night had 1 hit. He had 2 walks and scored 2 runs, so he was actually 1 for 3 last night.
The 0-2 pitch fouled off to the right side.
What
A little bit of a change over here at Dunker Field now, Perry.
Yeah,
as
we're
we
building
look off
another-
to the right, the new JV field under construction here, looking good.
It'll be a turf field, Brad.
Yes, it will, won't it? Here's the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. It gets by the catcher, but thrown down to first. So officially, Miles is rung out 2-3 But pitcher Austin Bow does get credit for a swinging strikeout.
Second baseman, 13, DJ Owens.
Third batter for the Millers is second baseman DJ Owens, one of the seniors on Justin Keever's team.
Owens last night was 2 for 3 and 2 RBIs. Has scored 2 runs, 1 base on ball. And he hit the ball well down in Tennessee also.
Well, today they're going to have to keep him on the ground or in a line because, boy, that wind blowing in out of the east is going to keep anything going to right field in the park. It's strong.
Yeah, coming into when they were down south, Owens probably was the only one that hit. He got the most hits down there, 5. He's batting 240, 94.
That one's a little bit outside. 3-0 on DJ Owens. Senior looking to get the first Miller runner on board. The 3-0 from Baugh. That one hits the outside corner just about belt high. Nice fastball. I don't think Owens had any idea about swinging at that. I think he was just willing to make him put it over the plate. If he gets it over the plate, fine. If he doesn't, he goes to first base. That one was a little further outside than what we had.
I think you're right.
What we had seen before. So it's a full count on DJ Owens, and he does finally get the base on balls. So the Millers have got their first base runner of the game, and that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter, Matt Peak, the first baseman.
Peak was 2 for 3 last night. Had 4 RBIs last night. In fact, he even hit a home run. So he had a big night at.
I'll tell you, if he can hit a
Avon.
home run tonight, he's got a lot of power.
Yeah, he does.
It's going to take a lot of bat to get this ball out of here tonight, especially if you're going to right field. Left field might not be quite as bad, but very, very strong wind blowing in right from right field, right across the plate from right in.
We do.
0-1 on Peak.
Haven't had a chance to yet.
That one's outside. Evens count at 1-1.
You know, the one thing about it, Brad, we were talking about batting average and everything. Down south, he was 3 for 16, and he gets last night he gets 2 big hits and one of them a home run and 4 RBIs. So
that works on
it
that
goes
batting average.
Yeah, it goes quickly.
Mm-hmm. That one's over the inside corner of the plate, makes it a 1-2 count. There's 2 outs, 1 on here in the bottom of the first. DJ Owens over at first. Matt Peak at the bat. The 1-2 pitch from Baugh. That one is way outside. Nice stop there by Nick Curtis, the catcher for Avon. I think Baugh was looking for the outside corner of the plate, but he wasn't looking for the left-handed batter's batter box there, which is just about where that thing came. That thing was probably at least a foot outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. Oh, my. That had to be a tough one to take, Perry. That was just barely outside. So Peak has worked it to a full count also. Same thing that DJ Owens did. Owens will be off with the pitch here with 2 outs. Baugh does not seem to be paying much attention to him. He did glance over at him and then.
Yeah, because he had a pretty good lead over there.
Yeah, he did. He had a very good lead. And Baugh kind of glanced over at him and then.
Watch that runner on first.
He did. He saw him go, and there's a fly ball to right field. That's tailing off. That's going to be a foul ball into the Avon bullpen.
I think the wind picked that up pretty quick.
Yes, it did. It really died.
Yeah.
It really died out there. You could just, it was kind of like a golf shot. You know how they go up in the air and all of a sudden they just, boom, come straight down.
I think Parker Sutton out there in right field said, "Oh, I hope this goes foul." Because I don't want to try to catch this in his wind.
Well, from our vantage point, it looked like it was going to go foul right off the bat. But, you know, you never can tell. Crazier things have happened. Another 3-2 pitch. Owens is off with the pitch. That one is outside. So 2 walks in a row for Austin Baugh.
You know, that's one thing that was their Achilles heel last night in the ball game against the Millers. They walked, I don't know, in that sixth inning, I think they walked, here I got it here, I think 6 batters in that sixth inning, along with 3 hits, and that absolutely kills you, Brad.
Jacob Weiler, the designated hitter, steps in, batting in the number 5 spot for Justin Keever. 2 on, 2 out. Weiler takes the first pitch right over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Started him off with a breaking ball rather than a fastball, Perry.
Yeah.
Andrew Owens on second, Matt Peak on first. Jacob Weiler at the plate. Swing and a pop up on the infield. Now this
that
could be
could
be a little dangerous with the wind, but first baseman Kyron Power gets that. So in the bottom of the first for the Millers, no runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on the bases through 1, 0-0. We'll take this 60-second break and we'll be right back.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street Signs and Banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome back to Dunker Field. I'm Brad Silbert along with Perry Williams. Opening day, home opener for the Noblesville Millers. We are through 1. There is no score. Those of you who did manage to tune in early must have got the word that the game was starting early because this game was originally scheduled for 6 o'clock, and we got word this afternoon that they were going to try to push it up. They got a hold of the umpires because there is rain on the way this evening, and I think the athletic department here at Noblesville High School, especially Tony Euler, made a wise decision in trying to push this up because it may have been a little difficult to get this full game in starting at 6.
Well, that's true, and this is not Mr. Euler's first time through
No,
this,
it's not his first rodeo. The 4, 5, and 6 batters will be coming up in Troy Droshy's lineup for the Orioles here in the top of the second. Mark Gemmer, the third baseman, steps in, swings and misses for strike 1.
Gimmer was 0 for 2 last night, but he did have an RBI. So.
Foul ball, 0-2. Gemmer in the hole. Looks like we got both of our cameras back up and working in, thanks to our great Hamilton County Television technical crew. These guys can solve most anything, can't they, Perry?
Just water or diet. Yeah, they absolutely can. This is always a great field here.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be an interesting complex with one of the top fields in the state of Indiana here in grass, and then the turf field. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be pretty flexible here at the dunk.
Mm-hmm. Gemmer trying to get a hold of a Clay Holsworth fastball, just a little bit late on the swing there. He's fouled 2 off to the right so far. Still 2 strikes, 1 ball, or call it 1 and 2. We'll get it right here. There's a well-hit ball to right center or left center field. Brady Walden is out there. He manages to make the play. I think the wind helped move that back toward Brady there for him to make the play, but that was still a hard-hit ball.
Because it looked like Barnes was going to make the play, and then it blew back across there. So
I think had we not had the strong wind like we've got here today, I think that would have been a Cole Barnes out.
Absolutely.
Tice Farrell, left fielder, steps in.
Farrell was 0 for 3 last night.
officially batting .333 on the season.
He grounded into a double play, and he struck out and hit to the second baseman for his 3 at-bats.
0-1 on Farrell. That one misses low. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
We got 1 out here in the top of the second inning, Brad.
Holsworth working from the stretch, even without anybody on base, Perry. Ground ball to Miles. He scoops it up all the way across the diamond.
Got him.
Nice job there by Matt Peak. Had that ball been to one side or the other of the base, he would have been on with an error. But as it is, Farrell is retired short to first.
Brad, you made a comment about Holsworth throwing from a stretch. A lot
Yeah.
of our Noblesville pitchers do that. I don't know whether that's a coach's choice or whatever, but a lot of them throw from a stretch with the Millers. He turned on that one.
Boy, he did. He got a lot of that, but it's gonna stay in the park, but be over there in the left field bullpen. Holsworth has done a good job of getting a hit ahead of the batters so far today.
Absolutely.
Only allowed 1 runner so far, a leadoff hit by Cam Melvin in the first inning. There's a high pop-up. DJ Owens calling it. He's still under it, and he makes the play. So the Orioles go 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the second. In the middle of the second, still no score.
Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate award, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provide you with that same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out at noblesvilletrophies.com.
I'd like to thank our technical crew today, Will Wofford, Lucas LeCain, Jim Wofford out here at Dunker Field. Battling the elements out here, it is always it's always a challenge with baseball early in the season because you never can tell what you're going to get. I mean, we could, in an hour or two, we could be raining here as it looks right now. It looks like we should be able to get this game in, but as things stand, it's always difficult for our technical crew. And of course, now we're in the shelter of a press box.
We're pretty not.
We're not real warm, but we're out of the wind, and Mr. Lacone is over there in left field waving to us, and I don't see any icicles coming off his ears or nose yet, but it's a little bit chilly out there, and all the fans are pretty well wrapped up in heavy jackets and blankets this time of the year. But that's to be expected.
That's Indiana baseball.
That's Indiana baseball. The 6, 7, and 8 batters will be coming up for Justin Keever's Millers here in the bottom of the second. Cade Nellis will lead things off. Cade comes into the game batting .188. He's the third baseman for the Millers. First pitch coming from Baugh. That was low and outside. Now, I find this a little bit odd for a pitcher out there today, Perry. Baugh is out there in a short sleeve shirt. Does not have any long sleeves on. Usually you'd see a pitcher in this situation with this type of weather with long. I got long sleeves on, and I'm out of the wind.
Yeah.
2 balls, no strikes. There's a hot shot right in front of the third base coach. That one goes rolling into the Millers bullpen. Foul ball. 2 balls and a strike. No outs. We are in the bottom of the second. No score here from Dunker Field. Thank you for joining us here on Hamilton County Television, or however you've joined us through social media anywhere in the country. We're glad you're with us. That one's a little bit inside. 3 balls and a strike. On Hamilton County Radio this evening, we got all the, I hate to say this, Perry, we got all the bases covered today.
That's right. That's right.
The 3-1.
Good play on words there.
Pop up. That one, Tice Farrell just camps under it there, and he manages to make the play. Now, it appears to me that the wind has shifted, Perry, and it looks like it's coming almost straight out of the north now.
Yeah. You know, the one thing about it, Brad, the fly ball so far, all the fielders seem to be able to
Yeah,
field it properly. I mean, they're not staggered around or they're not so.
Yeah, they've done a good job at it. They haven't had a lot of trouble with the wind. That'll bring up the catcher, Ethan Immel. Immel takes the first pitch from Baugh, outside and low for ball one.
Immel last night flied out to left field, walked and then struck out.
I'm not tracking pitches, but Baugh has already thrown quite a few pitches here into the second inning. He walked 2 runners in the first inning.
Well, Brad, I can probably tell you that in just a second here.
See, when you got Perry Williams with you, folks, instant information.
No, Noblesville coaches make me look very good.
2 balls and a strike on Ethan Immel. I take it you're looking at Game Changer.
Yes, sir.
Something
And
like
I
that.
have the complete.
Yeah.
I get to look at everything. So that's 30 pitches he's thrown so far.
Yeah, that's
Bill went to get something to eat, so you just hang loose up there until he gets back.
count is even
Their
on Ethan
concession stand
Immel.
is not open.
The 2-2 pitch to Immel. That one's inside. Gets away from catcher Nick Curtis, but with nobody on, no danger. We got 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Another full count. That's what, at least the 4th full count that that Baugh has gone to so far. There's a fly ball popped off to the right over the Avon dugout. Actually almost into the construction zone over there.
You know, Brad, this field will also host this year's baseball section.
Yes,
It's
it
gonna
will.
be right here.
Mm-hmm. There's
Oh,
a hot
he
shot.
turned on that one.
Yeah, last time he was a little low, a little slow getting around. This time he got out in front of it. Of course,
Yeah.
Baugh gave him a nice breaking ball there, a nice off-speed pitch, and
He turned on it. He
Immel
weighed on it and turned on it.
He just got out in front of it. Still 3-2 on Ethan Immel. That one hits him. So the Millers have got another base runner. This will be their 3rd base runner of the game. And that'll bring up Zach Groover. Groover is batting 188.
And now for Noblesville, the right fielder, number 9, number 6, Zach Gruber.
One of the senior members of Justin Keever's squad for this year.
And also a fine football player for the
Yes.
Millers this past season.
See a lot of crossover between football and baseball.
Absolutely.
High and inside on Groover.
You know, last night Avon pitchers hit 3 batters. So
Here's a throw over to first. Immel is back in plenty of time. Last inning, Baugh wasn't paying too much attention to the runners, but he did throw over there once or twice. At first, he wasn't watching them very carefully, but now he's watching them a little bit more carefully. There's a ground ball to short. Will they get 2? They're just going to go for 1, and he. Oh boy! Close play at first, but Groover is out short to first.
Coach Keever, of course, is going to go out there and question that, which as
Yeah,
a coach, you have to.
that was a close play, a very, very close play.
But I bet he don't change his mind. What do you think?
Oh no, it's not going to change it. But the other part of it is the field umpire, the 2 umpires are going to consult about it right now because neither of them was right there by first base the way they were stationed with the 2 umpire crew.
He's out.
Yep, they're reaffirming that he was out.
Unless it's pretty flagrant, you're not going to see that home plate umpire. You know, because they were both the same distance. And
yeah, and the home plate umpire is really, in that case, you know, when you got that runner on first, the home plate umpire is really probably, I don't know, you know, it's hard to tell. But anyways, 2 outs, 1 man on second, and that brings up
That's
Brady Walden, and he's saying he got hit, but
Coach Keever back out again here.
And it looked to me like he got hit. I
yeah,
thought I saw the ball
just,
move.
It did. I
Yeah,
mean, it just,
seriously, I thought it moved, and I thought he'd
That's good camera, Lucas.
be on his way down there. And the umpires are consulting once again. So 2 pitches. He did get hit.
Yeah. So, now here comes Coach Juris is coming out now for the question. Says, "Hey, how you can change your mind like this?" But
well, from our angle, Perry, right behind home plate, it appeared to me that the ball got him like right in the elbow. Or
yeah,
right
and
in,
he's got that pad on,
because it looked like the path of the ball definitely changed.
And it did, it big time. So
and now the only other thing they could be saying, and it looked to me like it hit the elbow, but the only other thing they could be saying is did it hit the bottom of the bat? And I don't think that was the case because. To me, from what we could see up
the
here,
way it shot across.
Yes, yeah.
Because I think if it hit the bat, it would come straight down because it hit that.
Yeah, in the
knob.
the bat was out in front of him because it definitely hit his left. It bound off the left side. In that, so.
Well, I think we got everything sorted out here. Brad, one thing you said earlier about the setup and how great the job did. Jim and I talked before after all the setup, and he says, "Well, the setup we came here with, we didn't use.
Yeah.
We got a completely different setup." So
well,
that's what's so great about this crew.
That's the flexibility of these guys. Millers have got their 4th base runner on now. No hits, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitcher, and looked like Austin Ball wanted time out there. Cole Barnes grounded out to second his first time up in the first inning. This could be one of these games, Perry, where whoever strikes first, might have a huge advantage in this game.
Nice job by the catcher there.
Yeah, he did. You got to give Curtis credit on that because that ball, it got away.
But he kept it out in front of him.
But the other thing is with Immel there at second base, the way the ball bounded away from him, it was bounding toward third base. So Immel held up. So 1 ball, no strikes. There's a hot shot, just foul, just between the third baseman and the coach's box. Not fouled by a whole lot, Perry.
No.
That makes it 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 on. We're in the bottom of the second here at Dunker Field. No score. The Millers are threatening. Outfielders not playing very deep here for Barnes. That one ended up going a little bit inside. Makes it a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Cooper Miles is on deck. Both of the runners on base courtesy of the pitcher hitting him. There's a bouncer to second. Going to do exactly the same thing he did in the first inning, a 4-3 out.
Absolutely.
And that's the 3rd out of the inning. So in the bottom of the second for the Millers, no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on the bases. At the end of 2, there is no score. We'll be back after this.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take 1 of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
We're moving into the top of the 3rd inning here at Dunker Field. No score. Millers have had 2 runners on in each of the first 2 innings, have not been able to score. Orioles have had 1 runner on, but that runner was wiped out as part of a double play. And we're moving into the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 batters for Troy Droshia's Avon Orioles coming up to the plate. Pitcher Austin Baugh steps in. No wonder he's batting. He's a .500 hitter, Perry.
Yeah, he's a good hitter.
Baugh, one of the senior members of the Oriole team. First pitch from Holsworth. That's going to be a tough play to make. Will they make it in time?
Nice play.
Nice play there. Cade Nellis had to charge that ball. That was almost more like a bunt than a hit, Perry, but
absolutely,
he did a great job of fielding that ball and getting the out. First out of the top of the second brings up the right fielder, number 17, Parker Sutton. Sutton no hits so far in the season. Pops that one up. Will that stay in play? No, that's going to go way out of play. I'm looking at that flag out there and trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's really strange. Yeah,
it was.
And you look at the trees, and it's moving a lot more than.
Yeah. It's kind of shifting around out there a little bit. 0-1. That one's a little high on Sutton. Evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. High and outside again, 2 balls and a strike. Sutton playing right field this afternoon for the Orioles. The 2-1 pitch, that one's going to go foul, and I don't think anybody's going to get to it. It's going to be down there in the Oriole bullpen.
Groover was hustling over there, but it was just too far for him to go because it was right up the fence.
One of the things you will
and wasn't hit very high.
Yeah, well, one of the things you will always see on a Justin Kiever team, Perry, is if it's fair, it's foul. It doesn't matter where it is. These kids will hustle.
Yeah, they will.
Or they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Top of the third. Another foul ball back into the new baseball field complex.
You know, the one thing about it, and of course, we've been around these coaches for a while, some of them, but the Coach Cherries and the Coach Keevers are very, very disciplined ball clubs.
Yes, they are.
It's always a good. That's why it's always a good game when they play each other because they're, you know, it's straight up baseball.
Ooh, there's
nice
a hot
hit.
shot up right through the middle. And Parker Sutton gets his first hit of the season. Second hit of the day. Both of them belong to the Orioles. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Eric Ayler. Ayler comes into the game batting .250. 1 out, 1 on. Top of the third. Holsworth gets the called strike.
Why everybody's oohing and on is there was a big jump on first base. And
yeah. I thought maybe they put a bunt and run on that thing, and maybe Ayler just missed it.
Yeah.
0-1, squares to bunt, gets it down, it goes foul. 0-2 now.
Mr. Euler's having his withdrawals today because Mr. Euler always has to have popcorn, and he's at a ball game, and he does not have popcorn tonight. So.
Yeah, I'm shaking and sweating.
Tony Euler, the athletic director, the assistant athletic director for the Millers.
0-2. That one's a little bit outside. Gets away. Throw down to second. It's going to be close, but Parker Sutton is in there in time. I don't think he took off with that pitch, Perry. I think he took off later, so we're going to have to give him second there on a is that a pass ball or wild pitch? Did that hit the ground? I couldn't see. I'm going to call it a pass ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Orioles with a runner in scoring position on second. Holdsworth getting ready to the Diller, the 1-2 pitch. He stops. I think he was thinking about throwing back to second, but there was nobody there.
You know, Brad, the fields have really greened up here. You know, this field looks pretty nice this early in the season with the weather we've had. Oh, got him.
Swing and a miss. Eiler goes down on strike swinging. Second out of the inning. That's a big out. Cam Melvin, with the other hit in this game, led off the game in the first with a single.
And then got forced out at second on a double play.
He was erased on a double play. Single here probably gives the Orioles the lead. I would say anything hit to the outfield would give him the lead, you would think, because he'll be off with the crack of the bat. Little high. 1-0. Cam Melvin came into this game today batting .667. Only the third game of the season for him, and he already got a hit today, so that batting average has already gone up, Perry.
Absolutely.
Melvin adjusting his uniform there, getting his batting gloves on.
Yeah, I think he had a button unbuttoned on his shirt, and the umpire said something to him, so he had to button up his shirt.
Melvin, a junior. There's a throw to second close, but no cigar. Nice throw over there by Holdsworth. But Sutton was not leaning quite far enough.
Fly
There's
ball.
a fly ball to center field.
Barnes
is getting that, lines that one up, and we are through the middle of the third inning. So in the third for the Orioles, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on the bases in the middle of the third. Still no score.
Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check them out on their website, ecommunity.com.
Well, Perry, you know, both of the teams have had opportunities to score here, but the defense has come back strong and kept this a 0-0 game.
Absolutely. It's a very good ball game here tonight, Brad. It's been tight, been more of a pitcher's duel. Coming in, of course, the Millers still haven't gotten any. They've had a lot of base runners, but they haven't got any hits. The walks and hit by pitch is the same problem they had last night, Avon, and that hasn't gone away, but they haven't scored.
Looks like that wind is still blowing in straight out of the east. I'd say it's probably, if that's not 20 miles an hour the way that flag looks, I'd be very surprised, Perry. Leading off for the Millers, shortstop Cooper Miles steps in, struck out, swinging in the first inning. That one looked awful close, but
it must have been a little low. It was a little low, I think. But
scoreboard has it as a strike. I didn't see him call a strike on that. I thought it was a ball.
Oh,
there's
that's
a shot. Yep, that's going to be. Gosh. Good play there by Cam Melvin. He was very, very well positioned for that ball in that line drive. Just you know, you could see a little curve on that, but not a whole lot.
But he pretty well had it played correctly.
Yes, he did. Yeah, they so far the outfielders have had everybody lined up just the way they need to be. DJ Owens steps back in, reached on a walk his first time up. Thanks to the Wofford Enterprises catering department for
bringing us a drink,
providing us some drinks here. We appreciate it.
Because there is no concession stand here tonight
Because of construction.
because there's no water.
One ball, one strike on Owens. There's a hot shot to second, picked up by Hessen. Over to Powers for the second out. Perry, I'm probably going to jinx this, but boy, this game is moving along fairly rapidly.
And it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Still no score. We are in the bottom of the third here at Dunker Field. Matt Peak, the first baseman, will step in. One of the two Millers to reach in the first inning via the walk. Baugh hasn't thrown quite as many pitches since he was up over 30 here in the second inning, but
he's had a couple good innings here.
Yes, he has. Peak looks at that one outside for ball one.
The Millers will travel to St. Xavier High School this weekend to play a doubleheader on Saturday. They'll play Campbell County at 1 o'clock, and then at 3:30 they'll play St. Xavier. So
now, where is that?
Louisville.
Barry? In Louisville. Okay. Count is even, 1-1, 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the third.
And then they come home next week and play the defending state champions in a 3-game series.
Oh, they're going to go a 3-game set with Fishers.
Yes.
I know some of the teams in the HCC are doing that, adding the third game this year. But
well, I think it has to do with scheduling, too, because with the 8th team now, it's a little bit tougher.
Peak drives that one down the left field side, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the third. The 1-2 pitch. There's a pop-up. Second baseman Hessen grabs it, and the Millers are retired. 1-2-3 for the first time in this game. So in the bottom of the third for the Millers, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on the bases at the end of 3. 0-0. You're watching Miller Baseball on Hamilton County Television. We'll be right back.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome back, Hamilton County Television, Dunker Field, home of the Noblesville Millers, and HCC baseball. Perry, I think you and I have talked about this many times. I don't think there's another conference in the state of Indiana that top to bottom can compare with the HCC when it comes to baseball.
No, you're so correct on that. I mean, top to bottom, this is a tough conference. Hey, Brad, this is really through the first 3 innings here. This is a real pitcher's duel. This time last night, there was 9 runs scored. We don't have any on the board tonight.
Well, I think a couple more games going on today. I believe the Fishers Tigers are over at Zionsville tonight. I don't know if you have anything on that yet, but we're moving into the top of the fourth. The number 2 batter, Henry Hessen, who made the last out of the bottom of the third, retiring the Millers, steps in, takes the first pitch for strike 1. Hessen grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the first inning.
Well, that's not going to happen this time, Brad.
No. There's a hot shot. That is a foul ball. Boy, not by much.
That would have been big.
That would have probably been at least 2 because that ball went all the way to the fence, and It was, I mean, that was you want to call it a rope or a scalded dog or whatever you want to call it. That ball was well hit.
Scalded dog. That's old. That's old school baseball
That's
right
almost
there.
as old as you and me.
That's right. And that's old.
Yeah, but we're having fun, aren't
Well,
we?
yeah, that's right.
0-2 on Hessen. Another foul ball off to the left, only this one kind of a little nubber over there and didn't get much on it. Count remains 0-2. Top of the fourth. Chilly at the old ballpark. Windy. But it's always fun at the ballpark. There's a pop-up. Is Immel going to have a play on that? No, he is not. You know, I can remember a few years doing games here before we got the windows here in this place, Perry, and
it was a little nippy.
It would have, you know, I remember one week coming here with Greg Rakestraw a number of years ago, and Greg and I sat here in winter coats on Tuesday, and then on Thursday we were in shorts and T-shirts.
That's Indiana for you.
Yes, it is. Still 0-2 on Henry Hessen. Now it's strike three, and Hessen goes down swinging. Third strikeout of the day for Clay Holsworth. That'll bring up Kyron Power, the first baseman. Been a good defensive battle so far here today. A lot of good play on the field.
Yes, and I've been very impressed with the fielders handling the fly balls.
Yeah. Yeah, with the way the wind is, it's been surprising that it hasn't wreaked more havoc on them.
Yeah, because it's changed. It seems like it's changed direction a couple times.
Yeah. Looks like it's still more out of the east, maybe a little bit out of the northeast, but definitely circulating back and forth between east and northeast. Two 2-0 on Powers. The pitch from Holsworth. That was a little low. I think that's the first time he's gotten to 3 balls on a batter.
You know, Brad, it's only 6:03, so if they hadn't started early over at Zionsville, we probably won't have any score.
Yeah, but I'll bet they didn't get going early. The 3-0 pitch. Powers had the go sign there. Or was
Holsworth has pitched 41 pitches so far here in the game, and Mr. Ball is at 52.
(3-1) to Powers. Ground ball to shortstop. Miles scoops it up, makes the throw across the plate, across the field rather. And once again, Peak had to jump a little bit, but he did manage to come down on the base.
Yeah, both those throws over there by Cooper Miles has been a little bit high. And
yeah, but little strong.
Yeah. And,
any way you look at it, it is an out.
But Matthew Peak's done a good job there.
Mm-hmm. Mark Gemmer steps in. Gemmer lined out to the left fielder Brady Walden his last time at bat. 2 outs, nobody on.
You know, Brad, we're getting in the situation and time of this game here, 4th, 5th innings, on just how long will these pitchers go.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I'm wondering how much of a pitch. They're probably on a pitch count too. Miles scoops it up over to first again, and another 6-3 to end the inning. So, in the top of the 4th for the Orioles, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on the bases. Middle of the 4th, still no score.
Church, Hindle, and Anthem. Since their establishment of Church, Hindle, and Anthem in 1880, our neighbors, our community leaders, our businesses, and school districts have placed their trust in us to solve their most challenging legal issues. We have a rich history in helping our clients when they need it the most. Give us a call at 317-773-2190.
Well, Perry, I'm just taking a look at the radar here, and it looks to the west of us clear, but the weird part is there's kind of a loop around us here that starts on I-70 west of, or rather east of Lawrence, and kind of loops around everything. But unless this moves rather quickly, we should be able to get this game in without any problem.
Well, that's a good thing because, conference games, you really got to.
Well, especially, with, number one being a conference game, number two, cost of travel and trying to get things rescheduled gets more and more difficult every year. Millers have got the 5, 6, and 7 batters coming up this inning.
Brad, you've been around Southeastern for a long time, and the Southeastern School District. Did you ever drive the bus for the ball?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You've done it all, hadn't you, Brad?
I did it all, yep. Jacob Weiler flew out to center field his first time up. Had good contact on the ball, but center fielder Cam Melvin managed to get over there and make a nice play on it. There's a bouncer out of play to the left. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, I've driven football, basketball, baseball, both the girls and boys basketball teams through the years, and they're nice kids.
Yeah,
and,
as a whole, it's
kind of fun
a
to
great
be around.
Opportunity.
Mm-hmm. 1 ball, 1 strike on Weiler.
Ooh,
nice breaking ball there. Must have come across a little low. It looked like it was over the plate, but must have broken just a little bit too much there.
Wilder, a sophomore for the Millers.
There's another pop-up. Puts it into the air. Hessen going after it, but now it blows over. And I thought Hessen was going to have a play on that, but it ended up the third baseman Mark Gemmer ended up making the play.
Now, we have seen that a couple times. The same thing with Noblesville out there in left field and center field the time on a fly ball. It looked like the center fielder Barnes was going to have it, and Walden took it. So,
well, Hessen went over after that ball, and I thought he had that thing lined up. And again, maybe the wind probably took that took a lot of that away. Caden Ellis steps in.
But I'm sure they were talking to each other, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, good communication. Ellis flew out to left field his first time up in the second inning.
Once again, Mr. Ball's not throwing many pitches this inning.
No, he hasn't. 0-2 on Nellis.
He's kind of settled in here,
Well, it looked to me like in those first 2 innings, Perry, that the Millers, they had good opportunities to get to him, but they just couldn't capitalize. They had 2 runners on, strike 3 over the outside corner there. I don't think Nellis agreed with that call, but it was that was one of those that was probably close enough that you shouldn't have taken a chance on it. Try to foul it off.
The one thing, the one thing about it is, and I'm never against that. The umpire behind home plate he's got a little bit wider plate. I mean, it's not tight on the outside or inside corners. So, and that's good. I mean, you got to adjust.
Well, and the batters are we're in the bottom of the 4th inning, so they've seen pretty much what his strike zone is, through the first 3 innings.
Yeah, you pretty well should know it.
That ball was just about in the same place as the ball that Nellis got rung up on. Only the second strikeout of the game for Baugh. 2 balls and a strike. And catcher Ethan Immel. Immel was one of the 2 Millers hit by a pitch in the second inning. There's a high pop-up. That one's going out foul. Is that going to be playable or not? No, it is not.
It's in the dugout.
Just barely into the dugout there.
Catcher completely lost it, though.
Yeah. Curtis was looking for it,
and then he couldn't find it.
I don't know if he might have lost it up there in the lights, but it was probably a good 2 or 3 feet beyond the front fence there of the dugout, so he wouldn't have had a play on it anyways. But I do believe he might have been looking right up in the lights and lost that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ethan Immel at the plate. There's a ground ball to the shortstop, Ayler. He scoops it up over to first, and the Millers are retired in the 4th.
One thing about Immel, he does have that catcher speed.
Yes, he does. So in the bottom of the 4th for the Millers, no runs, no hits, no errors. We are through 4 with no score. We'll be back on Hamilton County Television.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
We are through 4 here at Dunker Field. There is no score on the board on Hamilton County Television. Perry, we got a lot of sports coming up here in this next week or so. What all we got coming up
Absolutely. Tuesday night, Noblesville will play at home against Fishers in softball. That was scheduled to be a TV game, but we're going to do an audio game on that. And then Wednesday night, we go to Cherry Tree in softball with Noblesville playing Carmel.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I will both be at that game to broadcast that game. And on the 12th, on Friday, Noblesville Fishers, and we'll be doing the home game here against Fishers on the 12th, which is Friday night.
Yeah, we got a lot of great baseball and softball coming up here on Hamilton County Television.
We've really cranked it up this season.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it's a busy time for both you and I. This the month of April, and they always talk about the month of May with the race in Indianapolis. Well,
hey Brad, if you're busy, that means we're busy too.
We're moving into the top of the 5th. 5, 6, and 7 batters for Troy Droshy coming up. First pitch from Holsworth is a little bit inside for ball 1. This is Tice Farrell, grounded to short his first time up. There's a high fly into left field. Brady Walton going further and further back, and he does make the play on that. But that one had a crosswind on it too, Perry, and a little bit difficult there. And, any other day that may have gone all the way to the wall. But one up and one down.
That's always good for a pitcher there.
Mm-hmm.
Ball is up to, through his 4 innings pitched, he's thrown 64 pitches, and Clay is at 48. Oh, base hit.
Bishop Akers puts that one right over second base, and he picks up the 3rd hit of the day for the Orioles. Miller's still without a hit in this game, but they've had more base runners. That'll bring up the pitcher, Austin Baugh, and we're going to get a courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner on first base for the Orioles.
Well, actually not a courtesy runner because Akers is not a pitcher or catcher. So that is a pinch runner, and I didn't see who that was going in there. Austin Baugh steps in. Throw over to first, back in time. That was close.
Because the coach is going.
Yeah, did you see the coach at first base? He says, you got to slide in there and avoid that. I cannot read the number on the back of that uniform or the front of the uniform, so I do not know who that
44.
It is 44. That makes it Trent Thomas.
He's going. Base hit.
Base hit.
He was going
two runners
hit and run
and two
there,
hits.
too.
Yeah. So the Orioles have had 2 hits in this inning already. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Right fielder Parker Sutton steps in. Sutton had one of the other hits that the Orioles had here in the 3rd inning. Orioles are threatening. Holsworth pitching from a jam here. Gets the first one over the plate to right fielder Parker Sutton for called strike 1. 0-1, 1 out, 2 on. See if the defense can step up here for the Millers. The 0-1 pitch from Holsworth. Timeout is called. I didn't see who called timeout. I saw the umpire call time, but I did not see.
Good try, though.
I didn't see which player called it. Did you see which player called that, or if a coach? I don't think a coach could call that, but
I just saw the umpire step out.
The home plate umpire stepped out just as Holsworth was going into his windup.
Looks like a pretty good crowd here, but they're pretty bundled up.
I don't blame them at all. I think I'm going to do like you did here a few minutes ago and put the jacket on, the heavy jacket. I even got gloves with me. Okay, we're still at 0-1, 1 out, 2 Orioles on first and second. The pinch runner Trent Thomas is on first base, or second base. Pitcher Austin, is he running for himself there, or do we get a courtesy runner on first base? We have a courtesy runner on first base, and again, we're trying to identify who that is.
Ooh.
That one is high. That almost got away from catcher Ethan Immel.
I can't see the bullpen, Brad. Is there anything going on?
No, there is not.
Neither bullpen is
Nope.
doing anything. So.
Nope.
We're going to run with this, they say.
We're going to make it work one way or the other. A ball and a strike on Sutton. That one's low. Gets away from
a nice block by Immel.
Gets away from Immel. He throws down to first, but the runner on first had not strayed away far enough for Peak to have a play on him. 2 balls and a strike.
Time called.
Pitching coach coming out for the Millers. Critical point in this game, Perry, because both of these teams have had trouble scoring. The Millers have had 4 runners on. This is now the and they've all been without hits. And the Orioles have had 4 runners on, but they've all come via the hit. And the Millers have got to put some defense up here. Keep this score at
0.
At 0 here.
You know, the one thing about it anymore in baseball, timeouts, man, everybody huddles up. I mean, there's huddles everywhere.
Okay, now we are told that the runner on first base
is 10.
Yeah, is number 10.
That's Stevens.
Jarrett Stevens.
So you got Thomas and Steven on base for Avon here. Holds it to another timeout.
And it looks like for the Millers, number 17, Ethan, I think it's Ethan Leslie, is down in the bullpen loosening up. 2 balls, 1 strike on Parker Sutton. That makes it 3-1. A dangerous situation here for the Millers. The Orioles would like to get a couple runs across here. The Millers would like nothing better than a double play at this point. Swing and a foul back. He may have swung at ball 4 in that one, Perry. That one was a little bit, I think that might have been ball 4. That might have been a little high. Sutton had a single in the 3rd inning. Advanced to second on a passed ball, but didn't get any farther. The full count pitch from Holsworth. Swing and a foul again.
You said Leslie's warming up down there in the bullpen. He's pitched 3 innings so far this year. He's a sophomore. He's faced 20 batters.
Full count on Parker Sutton. Seems like he's been in the batter's box there for 5 minutes. Pitch from Holsworth, another foul ball straight back. Good battle here between the pitcher and the batter, Perry.
Absolutely, and pitch-wise, this has been a big inning pitch-wise for Holsworth.
Yeah,
he's up to 56 pitches. So. And he came in here with 41.
Yeah, we're in the top of the 5th with 1 out. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. That is a huge out. Second out of the top of the 5th. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Eric Ayler. Ayler started the day batting .250. He struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. 2 on, 2 outs. Top of the 5th. Orioles threatening. That one hits the lower outside corner for called strike 1.
You know, Brad, you were talking about ball with no sleeves on. I don't think Allsworth has any sleeves on either.
No, he doesn't, does he? Yeah, you're right.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you later.
Uh-oh.
Is that going to get through? It gets through. That's going to score at least 1. They're going to be a play at 3rd. Not in time.
Wow. Avon gets the first draw of blood here with a run.
So on the play, Trent Thomas scores. Jarrett Stevens ends up at 3rd base. And Eric Ayler is at 1st base with a run-scoring single, with a 1 RBI single.
So you got runners on the corners here, Brad.
3rd hit of the inning for the Orioles. Runners on the corners. They're back to the top of the order. Cam Melvin steps in. Base hit in the 1st inning. Flew out to center in the 3rd. First pitch to Melvin. Big swing and a miss.
He was going for it, wasn't he?
He swung right through that high fastball, Perry. That thing had to be.
That was going to the fence.
Yeah, that had to be above the letters.
He was going for the downs there.
Yes, he was. 0-1 on Melvin. Pitch from Holsworth. That one is driven into left field over the head of Brady Walden. That's going to score at least 1. And they're sending the runner from 3rd around for a 2nd run. And Cam Melvin has a stand-up double plus 2 RBIs. And all of a sudden, the Orioles have made this a 3-0 game on 4 hits here in the top of the 5th. That'll bring up Henry Hesson.
Allsworth is up to 62 pitches, but he's thrown 20 pitches this inning.
Yeah, I would say he's probably thrown at least a third of the pitches. Was going to be my guess. Just
yeah, he's thrown 20 pitches so far.
Mm-hmm. 2 outs, 1 on.
Oh, nice pitch.
A nice breaking ball there to Hession.
Yeah.
Hessen is struck out and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play.
That was such a good breaking ball. That just froze
Oh,
Hessen.
yeah. I think he was looking
did
fastball
man.
all the way.
Yeah, he did not see that coming. Got
Swing
him
and a miss,
again.
0-2.
Two good inside pitches thrown here by Holzman here. Halsworth, I mean.
Well, it appears that Ethan Leslie is probably ready down there in the bullpen if and when they decide to go to him.
I probably think they're going to try it unless something big happens here.
Try to get through this inning. There he goes.
There he did.
That's the end of the inning. Well, for the Orioles in the top of the fifth, there are 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 left on the bases. Middle of the fifth scores now. The Avon Orioles 3, Noblesville Millers nothing.
Smith's Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one were to ask how and why, the answer would be our outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. The knowledgeable staff of Smith's Jewelers is eager to give our customers a memorable, positive experience. If you contact them at 317-773-3383.
Well, Perry, Austin Baugh made his way back out to the mound for the Orioles, so he's going to go, would appear to be at least another half an inning here against the Millers, and he takes the mound with the Orioles ahead 3-0 here. The Millers have yet to get a hit. They've had 4 base runners, 2 of them by the walk, 2 of them hit by pitches. So the Millers need to get some base runners here and get back in this game here in the bottom of the fifth.
Well, both pitchers are pretty well equal now. 64 and 65 pitches. So.
Well, Baugh struggled early, but
he's really had some pretty good control here, and not throwing too many pitches. He let them hit the ball, and they've,
well, he
they got the outs.
Yeah, he faced 5 batters in both the first and second inning. Third and fourth inning, he faced the minimum with 3. This is Zach Groover coming in, grounded to shortstop in the second. 3-0. We are in the bottom of the fifth. Groover swings and misses, evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm sure what Justin Keever is telling his kids now, Perry, is don't get all excited. Just go out there and play.
Patient.
Be patient. Get the pitch you want and let's get some base runners here. Still nobody throwing in the Avon bullpen. The Miller bullpen is now also vacant.
The one thing about it is last night, Brad, Avon threw a bunch of pitchers.
Yeah.
They
may
threw
not
most
have
of their
much
staff.
left.
So.
The 3-1 pitch, that's high and outside. Groover takes first. The ball goes all the way back to the screen, but Groover does not think about going any farther. Good start to the inning for the Millers with the leadoff batter getting on base.
It's probably not plugged in, Brad.
No, they're probably not. We'll take care of that between innings. Just thinking about putting some lights on here. Not that it's getting real dark, but that brings the staff of the Orioles out to the mound for a little conference. Now, this is a little unorthodox, Perry. It's just the pitcher, catcher, and the pitching coach out there. Usually
well, the last inning when Noblesville went to the mound, they did the same thing. So
don't see that very often.
I guess they didn't have anything to say to the infield.
Brady Walden steps in. Walden was hit by a pitch in the second inning. One on, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth. That one hits the outside corner about the belt high. Strike 1 on Brady Walden. Ball gets his sign. Working from the stretch. Takes his time. That one is outside.
Almost got away from
yeah, good stop
the
there
catcher
by
Curtis.
Nick Curtis. Yeah, he made a nice stop on that one, Perry. Another throw over to first. Groover is back in plenty of time.
Yeah, you and I both know Groover's quick he was very quick on the football field. So he's.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll just have to see how aggressive they are here on the baseball field with, with a 3-run deficit. If they're willing to take the chance and the steal, trying to get somebody into scoring position, or just let Mr. Walden's bat speak for itself. That one is outside. 2 balls and a strike. Another good stop there by Nick Curtis, the catcher. Two and one, no outs. We're in the bottom of the 5th. That one's high, 3 balls and a strike.
All of a sudden, Ball's having a hard time. Looks like action in the bullpen.
Yeah, I was just going to say I see somebody going down to the bullpen there now for the Millers.
Well, he is
for the Orioles.
He is taking his sweatshirt off. Andrew, check that number out down there in the Avon.
That one's outside. So the Millers have drawn 2 walks here.
And they go back to the top of the order.
Yeah, back to the top of the order. That'll bring up Cole Barnes. He's bounced out to second twice. He bounces to the second baseman. It could turn into a 4-6-3 double play. Doesn't want to do that again.
Or you could see a bunt right here.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, can you see that number down there in the Avon bullpen? Can you see that number down there in the Avon bullpen?
Another conference going on at the mound there between catcher and pitcher, and home plate umpire finally walking out there and saying, okay, guys, we've had enough time to talk. It does appear that that's number 5, Nate Sidwell, a junior, warming up for the Orioles. This 5th inning has taken a long time to play here, Perry.
It certainly has. This has been kind of we were just flying right along here.
Yeah.
Big, fat, dumb, and happy.
2 on, nobody out. That one is outside again. And Austin Baugh just having a lot of trouble hitting the strike zone now, Perry, all of a sudden.
And it was the same thing with Holsworth
the
last
in the
inning.
top half. Squares to bunt, gets under it. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Runners on first and second base here.
Still no hits for the Millers. They've had 6 base runners now. 4 by walk, 2 by hit batsman, and haven't been able to get any of them home yet.
Good speed on the base pass here with Walden
definitely.
and Groover.
The 1-1 pitch popped up behind home plate, makes it a 1-2 count.
It's kind of a little surprised there they didn't try to move the runner with the bunt.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see what.
That's why we're up here and Coach Keever's
let's see
down
what
there.
Barnes
right?
does this time.
He's got 2 strikes on him, though. So.
That's a foul ball. Still 1-2, no outs. We are in the bottom of the 5th. Hamilton County Television, Noblesville Millers Varsity Baseball, brought to you by our friends at Logan Street Signs and Banners.
Well, I'm certainly the Millers do not want Mr. Barnes to do what he's done the first 2 times.
That's I mentioned that a little bit ago. Yeah. He hits it to the second baseman, and there's probably 2 outs.
Yeah.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss.
Nice pitch.
Barnes goes down swinging. First out of the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Cooper Miles. Miles is struck out and lined out to center field his last time up in the 3rd inning. Miles, one of the juniors on this team. Still 2 on. That one's a little bit low, and once again, Mark Curtis looked like he was going to maybe try to throw to get a runner, but first baseman Kyron Power is playing behind Brady Walden there at first, not holding him on at all. They are trying to hold on the runner at second, Zach Groover, but not doing a real good job of doing that, Perry. One and 0 on Cooper Miles. There's a ground ball. That's through. They're going to hold it third. Yeah, that's probably a wise move because that was a hot shot. And Trice Farrell,
it got to him pretty quick.
Yeah, Trice Farrell got to that ball fairly quickly. And the Orioles haven't been playing real deep in the outfield. But you certainly don't want to get that lead runner called, out
especially
at home.
with only 1 out. I mean,
yeah. That'll bring DJ Owens up. That's the first hit of the game for the Millers. Glad they finally got a hit on the board, Perry. Owens is walked and grounded to second. The bases are loaded. 1 out. Bottom of the 5th. DJ Owens takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. Perry, the way this ball game has been going, this could be the ball game right here.
Yeah, not many runs scored so far.
Yeah. Timeout is called. That was Owens calling for the timeout. 0-1 on the Miller second baseman. That one's over the lower outside part of the corner. Owens in the hole, 0-2. Owens batting .350 coming into today's game. One of the senior members of this team. There's a well-hit ball to center field, but that's Cam Melvin is under it. And the Millers should get a run here, which they do on the sacrifice fly.
So Groover scores on a sacrifice fly by Cooper Miles. No, it wasn't Cooper Miles, was it?
It was DJ Owens.
DJ Owens to center field.
Neither of the other runners advance, but that will bring up Matt Peak. Peak has got a walk and a pop out to the second baseman. More important, Perry, the Millers, number one, they got a hit. Number two, they have managed to score a run here in the bottom of the 5th. I think had they not come away with any runs here, that could have been trouble here at Dunker Field. Peak checked his swing in time.
Peak has good power. He got a home run last night in the game, so.
And the wind has kind of died down a little bit. It is not that strong now. But with 2 outs, too, the runners will be off at the crack of the bat. So there's a well-hit ball.
That's going to be caught by the
center fielder. Melvin comes in. He makes the play. And the Millers are out in the 5th. So in the 5th for the Millers, it was 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on the bases. At the end of 5, Orioles 3, Millers 1. You're watching Hamilton County Television, Noblesville Baseball.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Welcome back to Dunker Field. I'm Brad Silbert along with Perry Williams. We are through 5 innings here in the opening day game for the Noblesville Millers. Millers down by 2 here in going into the top of the 6th. And we have a new pitcher out there for the Millers. And that is, no, it is not a new pitcher. I'm sorry. That's Clay Holsworth is still in the game. I thought we were going to get a new pitcher, Perry, but Clay is still out there on the mound. Top of the 6th, we'll see the 3, 4, and 5 batters for the Orioles. Kyron Power swings and just barely gets enough of it to foul it off to the right. Gemmer is bounced out to short, lined out to left field. Yeah, I see we got that door closed a little bit more.
Yeah, I
It
shut
kinda
it a little bit
that,
more, yeah.
Block that wind a little
Yeah.
bit. Big swing and a miss there by Mark Gemmer on the first pitch from Holsworth. I'm a little surprised to see Holsworth go back out there.
How think about Lucas and Bill running camera out there in the stands.
Yes, we have no reason to complain up here, Perry. We got Lucas and Bill out there running the cameras, and they're really braving the cold. There's a ground ball to Owens. Owens gets it over to Peak. Second out of the top of the 6th.
You also got to remember that they're 40 years younger than us.
Yeah, they're considerably younger.
I used to be able to take the cold, Brad, but I'm not a very good cold guy
I did too.
anymore.
Left fielder Tice Farrell steps in.
We got 2 outs here.
0 for 2. First pitch to Farrell, a swing and a miss. Holsworth still going strong, Perry.
Yeah, he's come back this inning, not throwing very many pitches, so.
Still working from the stretch.
He
The
pitched-
0-1 count from Holsworth. There's a pop foul to the left, out of play.
Down the stretch last year and last season, as a junior, he came in and pitched some very good baseball for the Millers, especially around tournament time.
You showing any scores from any of their HCC games?
I have not seen any. I just looked on Twitter just now, Brad.
Wonder if they're getting rain in other places. So far, we have not had any rain here at Noblesville, but it's
Is it coming?
well, let's put it this way: it's probably it's in the neighborhood.
Well, I'm sure our good friend with the reporter, Richie Hall's,
He's keeping an
keeping
eye
a
on it.
pretty close eye on
Swing and a miss by Farrell. He goes down swinging for the 3rd out of the top of the 6th. So in the top of the 6th for the Orioles. No runs, no hits, no errors. We're in the middle of the 6th inning. The Orioles leading the Millers 3-1.
Celebrating over 27 years, Logan Street Signs and Banners specialize in that last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville, Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 or check them out on their website, loganstreetsigns.com. You know, Craig, Brad.
Craig's over there.
Yeah, Craig's down there. Brad, Holsworth only threw 69 pitches, so he didn't throw many pitches. Yeah, it's coming. It's closing in quick.
Yeah. I think we're going to get this one in before it starts to rain, but it's going to be close. I think Tony Euler made a great decision there, trying to get this game started early tonight. But yeah, Holsworth, I was honestly I was quite surprised to see him come back.
Yeah, he only threw 5 pitches that inning. So
yeah, that'll bring up the designated hitter, Jacob Weiler. 5, 6, and 7 batters will be coming up here against Austin Baugh here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Weiler is a high fastball for ball 1.
Richie, you got any scores from around the area? You see anything?
That one's going to fall in if it stays fair. No, that's foul.
I think Heights has got a softball game, and they're up 5-1 in the 5th. So. Who is? Oh, okay.
Foul ball by Weiler evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Millers are down by 2. Justin Key would like nothing more than send a bunch to the plate this time, Perry, and take the lead on this and end it up in the top of the 7th.
That's right.
A little bit high, 2 balls and a strike. I'm not sure if that's the same.
It looks like a different number.
Yeah, it looks like a different number down there in the Avon bullpen, and I do not have my binoculars with me today. There's a foul off the left side over the dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, nobody on.
I got some in the car. I need to start bringing those up.
Yeah, I need to put them in my bag. I just forgot them today. Here comes a 2-2 pitch to Weiler. Ooh, a little high and inside makes it a full count. Another full count for Austin Baugh. That's probably about the 5th or 6th full count he's faced today. Full count pitch.
Melvin's out
right
there.
at Melvin. He had it played perfectly for the out. First out.
The ball's got to be coming pretty close to the end here. He's up to 88 pitches, Brad.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I would, and especially this early in the season, as cool as it is right now, you're almost getting to the point where you're going to start risking injury. Cade Nellis, strikeout and a flyout so far in the game tonight. Catcher is motioning to the outfielder to play back a little bit. Cade with some pretty good power. First pitch to Nellis is low and outside.
Brad, I'm trying to check and see if it got a score on Fisher-Zionsville.
Yeah, they were at Zionsville. They're playing at Zionsville tonight. That one's a little bit low. 2-0. I've got a night off tomorrow night, so I think I might run over to Fisher's and watch Fisher's and Zionsville play tomorrow night. See our friend Wes Sheely over there.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Little inside. 3-0 on Cade Nellis.
I know I've been through it. You've been through it. It had to be a big thrill for him last year when the Fisher's Tigers won the state championship. And his son Ben is an assistant for
Ball 4.
Gentlemen, our field camera has gone down temporarily, so we're still trying to get that back up. That's why we only got the catcher cam.
That'll bring up the catcher, Ethan Immel. Immel's been hit by a pitch and grounded to short. Tying run is at the plate right now. 1 down here in the 6th. Yeah, the Tigers had what you could only call, I mean, they earned it. I mean, don't get me wrong. They had a dream season last year, but they earned it. And that was one very, very good baseball team. They top to bottom, all the position players pitching. They had the right combination, and they were able to do it.
But it also takes some luck and some very good coaching,
oh, yeah.
too. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, anybody thinks that they win a state championship without a little bit of luck is silly.
Well,
I mean,
you're absolutely right.
I don't know whether you should call it luck, but you have to have some breaks. You know what I mean?
There is an element of that there. I mean, you look at all the factors that can go against these teams. I mean, everything. That one's beyond
nice hit
beyond
down that
third base.
baseline.
That one's going to end up with runners at first and second, or second and third. And the Millers are in business here in the bottom of the sixth. A two-base hit by Ethan Immel puts runners at second and third with one out and brings up Zach Groover. But, Perry, all too often we see it, with all the games that we do. You see a team lose a key player or one or two key players during the season, and it just makes such a difference. And, Fisher's had their share. They had a few injuries last year. They had Grant Richardson down for a little while, but they managed to to continue on. And the other thing about it is, Perry, is just the just the idea. Camden Nagel is going to be a courtesy runner.
Camden Nagel did a great job last night. He got the victory for the Millers last night on the mound, so he's coming in to run.
And we're going to have a conference here on the mound, and I haven't seen a motion out to the bullpen yet, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised that we see a pitching change here because
pretty quick.
And although I think if he was going to make a change, I think
He'd
he would
already
have
motioned.
Yeah, he would have already motioned, and he is not motioned down there. But I think that's number 10, Jared. No, it can't be 10 because he's an outfielder. I cannot read the number. My apologies for that. But I would think if Coach Droschi was going to make a change, he would have made it by now, and he's headed off. But to reset things here, there's one out here in the bottom of the sixth. The Millers have two runners in scoring position at second and third. Got Zach Groover at the plate. Zach has got a walk and a ground out to shortstop so far in this game. And it looks like we're going to get another pinch runner here. And it looks like Jackson Hancock is going to run for Cade Nellis.
With a left-handed batter here, Groover, if he could get a fly ball out in that right field, that speed over there in third base could make a difference.
Yeah, I think they're definitely looking at the sacrifice there at that option. That one almost got away from Curtis. That was a good stop on his part. We are having some technical difficulty with one of our field cameras here, so we're going to have to bring you the play here from our home plate camera, so we won't have quite as much action. So we'll kind of revert to a little bit more of a radio style.
Absolutely, but I'll tell you what. Yeah. We got it down because that's a great shot, Brad.
Yeah, it is. One ball, one strike. Zach Groover at the plate. Two runners in scoring position, one out. We're in the bottom of the sixth. Groover fouls that one off to the left. 1-2 on Zach Groover. Only 2 hits for the Millers so far tonight, but so far they've made both of those hits count. Here's Groover's pitch. Ooh, a little bit outside. Evens the count up at 2-2. Again, that was close.
That'd be
Perry.
tough for me to take.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yipper.
I'd have probably went down swinging on that.
That one is going to be a foul ball.
A hit like that with Groover's speed could cause a lot of problems here on the base paths.
A little number right there.
Yeah,
and the Millers could very easily have the bases loaded.
And Groover being left-handed and the speed
Here's
he has.
the 2-2 pitch. High, 3-2.
Well, Zach Groover's having a very good bat
Yes,
here right now.
Good battle out there for Zach Groover.
Because he's went from 1-2 to 3-2 now.
Ball's pitch. That one's
Walked
outside,
it.
and the
Wow.
bases are loaded.
Brady Walden coming to the plate.
Brady Walden steps in. He is actually, he doesn't even have an official time at bat today. He's been hit by a pitch and walked.
I would say they're going to make a change again.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's already happening.
Yeah.
So while they're making the change, let's hear from one of our great Hamilton County television sponsors.
Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with that same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out on their website at noblesvilletrophies.com.
Perry, can you read the number on that picture out there? And we are told we are starting to get a little bit of rain coming down. What's that song? The rain in Spain falls mainly in the plain?
That's right.
The rain in Noblesville falls mainly at the dunk.
That's right. I can't catch a number quite yet on the.
Yeah, I have not been able to read it either.
Pitcher.
It's number 8. And that is Mason. Is it 8 or 5? Okay, we are told now that the new pitcher is number 8, or number 5, Nate Sidwell. Perry, you got anything on
No, there's nothing on Sidwell.
Sidwell comes in.
He's a junior. So.
Yeah. I mean, this is a tough position for any relief pitcher to come into.
Bases loaded.
You know, and especially
cold
if
night.
Cool night, bases loaded. He's been warming up out there in the bullpen for the last couple of innings, so he ought to be fairly loose. But this situation, one hit here ties this game up.
Yeah.
In that, but for Sidwell, it's a tough situation. But the other part of it is Austin Baugh is responsible for the 3 runners that are on the bases.
Next up is the play for the Millers, number 7, left fielder Brady Walden.
Brady Walden.
Just got a report from the reporters Richie Hall that Fisher's won 1-0 over in Zionsville tonight.
They must have played earlier today too. Strike 1 on Brady Walden.
Oh, they played at Grand Park.
Oh, okay.
But they probably did start earlier too.
Yeah, because I thought that was scheduled for 6 o'clock, the schedule I saw, but
They started at 5:15.
5:15, just like they did here.
2 strikes now on Brady Walden. So Sidwell has come in here and just taken command right away, Perry. Walden, a 300 hitter, no official at bat tonight. The 0-2 pitch, that's way outside.
Well, Mr. Ball ended up tonight throwing 5.1 innings and 105 pitches. So 2 hits, 1 run. Of course, all those runs out there are his, and 3 strikeouts and 6 walks, which is what really has hurt him. Oh,
swing
nice
and a
pitch.
miss by Walden. Second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order, Cole Barnes steps in. Barnes has bounced to second twice, struck out in the 5th inning.
11, Cole Barnes.
Right field's playing him pretty shallow.
Yeah, and right center field is wide open. Center fielder's playing shaded over toward left.
Oh, baby.
That's going to score 2, and we're going to have a tie game.
This baby's going to be.
And on the throw, the runner at second, who was Zach Groover, he ends up going to third. So we have a tie game now as the Millers have scored 2 runs on the Cole Barnes single.
That was a big hit by
yes,
Cole
it
Barnes.
was. First pitch.
And a very heads-up play by Zach Groover to get over to third, scamper to third base on the throw.
Groover saw that the center fielder, Melvin, threw straight through to home plate, and when he saw that ball wasn't cut off, he moved over to second base. But still 2 outs, so the Millers have got to, if they put the ball in play, they've got to get a hit to score.
And so you got Barnes on first and you got Groover on second. So runners on the corner here.
Mm-hmm. But we are tied at 3-3. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Millers. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Orioles here in the bottom of the 6th.
We may be making another change here.
Yeah, I think here comes another conference at the mound. And he was looking down toward the bullpen, but
he didn't make a signal yet.
No, he hasn't signaled. Now he is. So we are going to have another pitching change. So let's take a moment and hear from one of our great Hamilton County television sponsors.
Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check them out on their website, ecommunity.com.
Well, I think the reason that they're making the change here, Perry, is you got a lefty coming in here. And again, with these with the gray uniforms and the gold numerals on them, they are rather difficult to read. But that does
24.
24. That's Lucas Carrillo coming into pitch now.
And he hasn't thrown either. I thought maybe Coach might have brought maybe one of the pitchers in last night that hadn't thrown a lot of pitches, but so far he hasn't.
Well, this is still Ball's game. This is still Ball's game to win or lose. If the Millers can take the lead here, Ball can still lose this game because he was responsible for the 3 runners that were on base when when he left the game. To reset things for you, we've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. The Millers have tied it up at 3-3. We're on our 3rd pitcher of the inning. Now warming up is number 24, Lucas Carrillo, for the Orioles. The Millers don't have anybody loosening in their bullpen, so apparently I would say that they are probably going to have Holdsworth come back out here in the top of the 7th, possibly depending on what the situation is here. But Cooper Miles steps in, shortstop. Miles is 1 for 3 so far tonight with a strikeout, a line out to the center fielder, and also a base hit in the 5th inning. So Miles with the opportunity here with a hit should definitely give the Millers the lead if he can get any kind of a hit here. Carrillo will be working from the stretch. Here is his first pitch. High, ball 1. Tried to start him off with a breaking ball and missed high and outside. Second pitch from Carrillo is over the outside corner of the plate. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. A critical stop here for the Millers. I mean, the most critical thing, obviously, Perry, is they got the score tied. And they certainly would like to put this lead run across now. Miles takes that one, and it's low. 2 balls and a strike. Now, Carrillo's got an open base out there, so if he does walk somebody, it isn't the end of the world. But then he'd be facing DJ Owens. There's a foul ball back, evens the score, or evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Cooper Miles has already got a hit in this game. I'm sure you've already said that.
Yes. Yep.
DJ Owens is one of the best hitters on the team coming up next for the season. So,
well, the Millers have had some clutch hitting in this one here.
Oh,
down
wow.
to third, bobbled. Is he going to beat it out? He
Safe.
beats it, and the Millers take the lead. I think we got to score that as an error 5, Perry.
I think so too. He
Yeah,
had it in the belly. He just he couldn't get to it.
Unfortunately for Mark Gemmer, he bobbled that ball, And he fields that cleanly, and the run does not score, but the run has scored. So that's another run for the Millers. First error of the game. They haven't put it up on the board yet, but I would assume that that's going to be an error. And DJ Owens is up at the plate, and he fouls that one off to the well, no, it's not fouled off. It's going into left field, and Tice Farrell takes the ball in for the third out of the inning. I thought that ball took off, and
I did too.
Went out there. But the Millers send 8 players to the plate, end up scoring 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left on the bases at the end of 6. Millers lead the Orioles 4-3 on Hamilton County Television. We'll be right back.
You know, when Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners.
This one over to the left side, and Bishop Acres is in the hole 0-2. Trying to see who's on deck here, Perry, because it's the pitcher's position that is due up next. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Akers. That one's low. Bounces away from Immel, but with no runners on, no problem. Thank you for joining us this evening on Hamilton County Sports, Hamilton County Television Sports. We appreciate you being with us. Opening day here at Dunker Field for the 2019 baseball season for the Noblesville Millers. The 1-2 pitch, a little bit outside.
29 is on deck here.
Austin Baugh.
Lucas, you can go ahead and tell Bill you can also take down the IFB.
The original pitcher is on deck. Of course, he has a good
He
batting
hits,
average.
yeah,
He
he
has a
has
500 batting average, so. And he can technically re-enter. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, nobody on. Top of the 7th. Millers trying to hold on to a 1-run lead here at Dunker Field. The 2-2 pitch from Holsworth. Swing and a miss. That's 1. Akers goes down swinging.
You know, really, Holsworth with that quick inning last time, he's only thrown 78 pitches, Brad. So, you know, it's not like he's.
That's his 5th strikeout. The original pitcher, Austin Baugh, who is the pitcher of record as of right now for the Orioles, steps in, takes the first pitch high and outside for ball 1. Been a overcast afternoon, all afternoon here at Dunker Field. A little bit after 7 o'clock. Temperatures dropped another 5 degrees
there,
down to about 54 degrees. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, the one thing about it is Brad Holsworth still looks pretty strong out there on the mound. Now,
yes, he does.
He doesn't seem to be struggling, and he's got command of his pitches. And
Baugh did have a hit back in the 5th inning and did score the second of the 3 runs that the Orioles have. 2 balls and a strike. Austin Baugh at the plate. The 2-1 pitch from Holsworth. Swing and a miss. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still pretty windy out there. Wind still blowing straight in from the east. The 2-2 pitch on the way from Holsworth. Wow. Swing and a miss. 2 up, 2 down here in the 7th. Both swinging strikeouts. And
that's number 6, right?
Yep, number 6. And the Noblesville Millers are 1 out away from their 3rd victory of the season and taking the season series away from the Orioles 2-0.
Which is huge. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a league where conference play is a huge part
Yeah.
of the success of the season, right along with the sections.
Yeah, last year there were 7 teams in the conference, and the top 3 teams were all above 500, and the bottom 4 teams were all below 500. So that tells you what that competition level is.
Yes.
0-1 on Parker Sutton. That one gets away from Immel, evens the count up. Ball 1, strike 1. 2 outs, nobody on. We are in the top of the 7th. Millers holding on to a 1-run lead, courtesy 1 run in the 6th, 3 runs, or 1 run in the 5th, 3 runs in the 6th. The 1-1 pitch to Sutton, bouncing ball to 3rd. This should do it. Throw to 1st, and the Millers have won the game.
What a game. Millers came back, played great baseball.
So in the bottom of the 7th, or rather the top of the 7th, the Orioles, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on the bases. Final score, the Noblesville Millers, 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Avon Orioles, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Perry, your thoughts on the game?
We need to get out of here before the rain comes. No, it was a great ball game. I mean, the Millers fought. Hats off to Halsworth. He did a great job tonight.
Yes, he did.
On the mound.
Well, both pitchers did a good job, and both went late into the game, which is a little bit uncharacteristic for this time of the year. But after an 11-run outburst last night, the Millers had to come from behind to win it, and they do win it here in the top of the. They actually won at the bottom of the 6th there with with those 3 runs there in the bottom of the 6th. And, an unfortunate error for the Orioles. We'd like to thank you for watching tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Baseball on Hamilton County Television, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating over 26 years in business. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors, Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, the Hamilton County Calendars, and One Zone. My name is Brad Silbert. On behalf of our technical crew, Jim Wofford, Will Wofford, Lucas Lacone, and my sidekick, Perry Williams, thank you for joining us. Good night from Dunker Field.